If you need to follow along to this one, it's on page 9.
I got a smile on my face, I got four walls around me. I got the sun in the sky, all the water surrounds me. Oh, hey, oh, yeah. Yeah, I win now, but sometimes I lose. I've been battered, but I never bruise. It's not so bad. And I say, hey, 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 it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. It's alright. Janie sings on the corner, what keeps her from dying? Yeah, let them say what they want, she won't stop trying. She might stumble if they push her around. She might fall, but she'll never lie down. It's not so bad. And I say, wait, hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. It's alright. In this beautiful life, there's always some sorrow. Yeah, it's a double-edged knife, but there's always tomorrow. Oh, hey, oh. It's up to you now if you sink or swim. Just keep the faith and your ship will come in. It's not so bad. And I say, hey, 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 it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. Hey, hey, it's just an ordinary day, and it's all your state of mind. At the end of the day, you just gotta say it's alright. Hey, it's alright. Hey, it's alright, it's alright. I got a smile on my face, I got four walls around me.
It is. It's just an ordinary day. But every day with coffee, yes. So I've never brought up the actual cup of coffee that I typically drink, but now that we're selling coffee, I figured that this would be a good way to pitch the wonderful coffee that we now sell. And it is good. If you're a coffee drinker, it's quite good. I'm quite happy with our coffee. So welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. How is everyone today? Okay. How is everyone today? That's a much better response. I'm so glad to have that response. It's a pleasure to have you all here today. A couple of things that I want to let you know about that we have happening here at the center. This Tuesday is the final class for Exploring Roots. We're finishing up. It's the final class. Can you believe it? We are finishing up Exploring Roots, finishing up our study of Emma Curtis Hopkins, who, brilliance. And again, I will say this now, and I actually will hold to this. I am talking about Emma Curtis Hopkins in my talk today, a little bit. Because the last time I made the announcement that I was talking about Emma Curtis Hopkins in my talk, she never once came up. So, and she's actually written into my notes today, so I trust I will actually look at my notes today. So that's our final class in Exploring Roots. It'll be our final Tuesday class, probably till the fall. And So if you would like to join us for that, please do. You can still drop in and learn what you need to learn. Whatever is happening for you in that moment is exactly what needs to happen. Wednesday nights, we continue the Essential Ernest Holmes. There will be class this Wednesday because I will not be down with the flu like I was this past week. I am feeling a million times better, by the way, after 3 days basically in bed. I know I still sound a little nasally and a little congested, but that's just the residuals of whatever's holding on, and I am ready to release it. Shall I release it?
Yes.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. So yes, Wednesday at 7 o'clock, right here at the center, we continue the Essential Ernest Holmes class. 1 week from today, you got one more week. 1 week from today is Nick Michelli's CD release party. How many of you have already bought your tickets? Oh, I see. I see how it is. Well, I will encourage you all to please support Nick and support this center at the same time. He has done this wonderful CD of storytelling, and he's presenting it here for the first time, making it available to the world at large for the first time right here at the center next Sunday. And it's at 2 o'clock. You can buy your tickets online at our website, csltoronto.com, and please, please go buy your tickets today. Buy the CD in advance so that you're saving money, because if you buy it next Sunday, he'll charge you more for it. So buy it in advance online and pick it up next Sunday. He's got his CD, Dragon on the Mountain, he's got a special musical guest that day called Donkey, and I'm sure it's going to be an incredible, incredible event that you will not want to miss. And it is a fundraiser for the center, so it does support the center, so I encourage you all to join us for that. I will be here. Thursday, April 30th is the next women's group meeting, yes? Yes. Thursday, April 30th, right here, 7. Tuesday, if I actually read what is written in front of me. Tuesday, April 30th is the next women's group meeting. Tuesday, April 30th at 7 o'clock. So join, if you're a woman, you can join in with that. I will not be here for that. June 9th, we are hosting Edwene Gaines, the prosperity guru of the world. Her book, The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity, is available in our bookstore. We have additional copies that have finally come in. She is going to be our special guest in Sunday service that day, giving the talk, and we'll host her workshop, The 4 Spiritual Laws of Prosperity, after service that day. You don't want to miss it. It's done on a love offering basis. We are going to this room is going to be jam-packed with people. I don't know how to describe Edwene Gaines except to say that she changed my life in terms of my expression of prosperity. And I know that she can change yours. She basically says, if you're willing to be taught, you can learn. And that's really where it all stems. If you're willing to be taught, step into that willingness and you can learn from her and you can change your entire prosperity expression. And that's what appealed to me when I first went and saw her. And I've seen her in person now 3 or 4 times. And I'm so excited to have her here. We will jam-pack this room because I am going to be marketing this to all of the New Thought centers, the Unity churches and Verity Center in the area. So I know that they will be coming out in droves. And it is on a love offering basis. She's not charging you anything to be here. So come here and learn about prosperity. And that's a woman who has a prosperous mindset because she doesn't need to charge for her workshops anymore. Think about that. Think about that. So we've got, I'm going to ask Helen to come up here and talk to you a little bit about an outreach program that we are going to go ahead and step into. Yes. Hold on, I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Yes, so that we're, okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, good morning. So on May 25th, we are holding a yard sale that is in association with the Yard Sale for the Cure for breast cancer. And of course, one man's treasure is no, how does that go? One man's junk is another man's treasure. So bring in your junk because somebody else is going to want it, and we could use it to sell. We're going to be out on the side here, and we'll have signs. We need volunteers, so if any of you are interested in volunteering that day, it's going to be a full day of pricing everything. We'll start at 8 o'clock in the morning because, as you know, people who like to go to garage sales, they start very early in the morning. And we'll go till 1 o'clock. We're also going to have a booth that will give information about the center. So it's a great way to expose our community to the center and let them know what goes on here. And the way it's going to work is 50% of the proceeds are going to the yard sale for the cure is what they call themselves for breast cancer research. And then the other 50% is going to go to our children's program to finally create this amazing space and get the materials and resources to support our kids in the Dynamic Kids program. So you can start bringing in all of your trash, and we'll take it and put it downstairs and store it there. So go through your drawers, go through your cupboards. We'll take clothes, we'll take furniture, we'll take appliances, we'll take anything, anything, and we'll sell it, and it'll all go for a good cause. All right, so we'll start taking things today if you have them on you. If you want to ditch your winter coat.
I'm assuming you'd prefer gently used.
Well,
Just
yes.
as to clarify, rather than we'll take anything.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Gently used. It's got to be in working order, But again, we'll take it for you. So thank you.
Thank you, Helen. So yeah, easy for me to say. It's funny. There are a number of people who have spoken to me recently about how they're starting to declutter and they're going through their stuff. And if you're decluttering, because this is the time of year when people declutter. As you declutter, put those things in your car and bring them here because we can sell them. And it does benefit our youth program, and it's going to benefit the cure for breast cancer. So please bring in your stuff. Bring in your stuff. We also have we've launched the new program of selling these packets of gift certificates in the bookstore. You get basically minimum of 20% return on your investment in the bookstore. So this is to help us raise funds so that we can actually create a vibrant, wonderful bookstore. Because here's what's happening. We've got this great new storefront. People are walking down the street. Oh, I'm doing it like I am in class now. You ready for this? I do this in class all the time. So we go walking down the street. But people are walking down the street and they're saying, oh, look at this lovely new signage in the windows, the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. Let me look inside the window. Doesn't look like there's much going on in there. Okay. And they keep going. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to expand what we offer in the bookstore, and the way we need that, let's face it, we're looking for you to make an investment. We're basically selling what are equivalent to stock in our bookstore. And as you buy the stock in the bookstore, you get to then redeem the stock in merchandise and in class tuition. So you're basically paying up front for merchandise in the bookstore, but we're giving you a minimum of 20% return on that investment that you're making. So for every $100 you spend, you get $120 in credit for the bookstore or in class tuition. All of that is available up front in the bookstore today, so please take a look at that. And if you have any questions, you can ask me, you can ask Helen, you can ask anybody on the board about that, and we'll be able to talk you through it. So let me see. If you're here for the first time, we want to say thank you for joining us. And I've spoken to a couple of you. It's wonderful to have you here. And I'm grateful for you bringing your consciousness to this center and expanding our collective consciousness that we've created in this room today and that we create at all times. So here we are at the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. Let's get started. No more announcements. No more business of the center. Let's get started with the fun. Here we are. We're about to have fun. So we come here every Sunday. I come here every Sunday. Many of you come here every Sunday, and you come here with an idea in mind about what it is you're going to experience here. And what it is that I choose to experience here every single Sunday is a deepening awareness and awakening to the understanding that no matter what, there is one divine source that is at play, that is the creative source of the entire universe, that is the creative source of all things seen and unseen, and it is who and what I am, and it is who and what you are. I haven't seen you in a million years. Hello. Sorry, I don't mean to point you out now in front of everyone. But it's great to see you, Julie. Anyway, that's what we come here to celebrate. We celebrate the source of all creation that is who and what we are. There is no separation between the divine. There is no separation between God, whatever you choose to call it, God, love, life, the divine, the creative source, whatever you call it, it is who and what you are. And this is what I celebrate here every Sunday. So I encourage you to join me in that celebration. Now, we do this in a ritualized fashion by showing up at 11 o'clock on a Sunday, and we all come together and we listen to wonderful music, and then we hear the announcements, and that's part of the celebration too. I just want to be very clear, because it is an expression. The announcements are an expression of the creative nature at play within this center. It's all tied up into one beautiful package, because that's life. Life is a beautiful package which we are all living. We are living the life of the divine. So are you on board with me today to celebrate that idea?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's step into that by reading, first of all, our Declaration of Principles. Now, I'm going to do something I have never done before. I would like you all to please stand up. Starting to feel like Catholic Mass? Now, here's the reason that I'm asking you to stand up.
No kneeling.
We're not going to kneel, don't worry. Here's the reason I'm asking you to stand up. Simply to raise our energy, to raise our awareness of what it is we are about to step into as we read. As we read this, you're making statements about what you believe. So check in with yourself. As you've raised your awareness, really determine, is this what I believe? Really check in with yourself. So let's read this together. I believe in one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe this one manifests itself in and through all creation. I believe in the individualization of the Spirit, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. I believe that heaven is within, and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. I believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. I believe in the eternality, immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. You may be seated. And now I will tell you the joke. So where I was trained, and my spiritual center for the better part of 7 years in North Hollywood, California, we read a version of this, not exactly this, but we had the same last line. I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. You may be seated. Is basically how I've always heard it in my mind, because Reverend James Mellon always made us stand every time we did the Declaration of Principles. So as we've been doing this every week, we've read this together, and in my mind, at the end, even though you've all been seated, I always hear, you may be seated. So, check in with yourself. What you have just read is a very profound statement. Just check in with yourself right now. What resonated with you today that may not have resonated with you in exactly the same way as it did last week when you read it? Because I'll tell you, every week I read this and something resonates with me in a different way. Today it was this: I believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. What could be more true? God is a personal experience. God is personal to each and every one of us. My concept, my relationship with and as God is a unique experience to me and is not going to be the same as Helen's or Linda's or Judy's or Lucy's. It is a personal experience. And so as we live life, we are living that personalized experience more profoundly and more deeply in every single moment. So step into that idea today. Step into the idea that your experience is God's experience. Whether you call it good, whether you call it bad, it is God's experience being had by you. And as you step more into that idea, what you perceive as bad will begin to slip away, because there's no requirement for you to have those experiences any longer. There is only goodness that is ever flowing through you. So this is where we get into the Emma Curtis Hopkins thing, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later in my talk. But to lead us down a little bit more deeply into this inspirational place, I'm going to invite our practitioner of the day, Helen Vallot, to share with us some words of wisdom.
Okay, so I actually had another talk prepared that I ripped off from Alex Robert Holmes from his Power Talk last week at NoHo Art Center. But then yesterday, there was a lot of amazing things that happened in Jonathan's class in the afternoon. It's, what do you call your class? What do we do?
Well, in my brain, I'm calling it the Discover Your Genius Workshop.
Discover Your Genius Workshop. Well, it's genius, and everyone in it is genius. So this is what came to me yesterday afternoon to share this instead. Our greatest fear is not our light. Our greatest fear is it. I even wrote it in really big letters, and I still can't get it out. I thought, I'm good this time. Let me start that again. Our greatest fear, it is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And that's by Marianne Williamson. So our affirmation today is, today I step into my greatness and let my light shine. So repeat after me, please. Today I step into my greatness and let my light shine. And we'll repeat it one more time. Today I step into my greatness and let my light shine. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. I'm very moved that this workshop is having such a profound effect on you. And I will tell you, it is true.
Yeah.
I am watching, I don't want to call, I'm watching ordinaries happen, because I won't say that I'm watching miracles happen. I'm watching people unleash their authentic selves because they feel safe to do it in the form that we're doing it. But I can't tell you how brilliant these women are. It's 8 women that have joined me for this workshop, and I am watching things blossom in them that I don't even think you realize you had within you. It's really, really, really wonderful. But let's take what Helen has just shared with us, because all of us have this opportunity to let our light shine forth. Let it just simply shine forth. I'm going to ask the band to go ahead and start taking us to that place in song. The song is All Is Well. It's on page 12. It's very simple if you want to follow along. But what I encourage you to do, as I always do in these moments, is to allow yourself to resonate with the words you've heard. to allow something to come through you in this moment by unleashing your own creative genius, letting go of anything that may be holding you back. Stepping into that perfect place of creation, because that's who and what you are. You are the creative source of your entire life. When you step into this, you can relax. You can relax. Relax into the knowledge that there is nothing against you. Relax into the knowledge that you are perfect. Relax into the knowledge that you are complete. Relax into the knowledge that you are whole. This is the truth. And this is the truth that I choose to live by today, and I encourage you all to accept it as the truth that you choose to live with today. So simply allow that to resonate for a moment.
All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is.
And I know right here, right now, that life is eternal. Life is this divine creative force, always expressing, always creating. It is brilliant. It is beautiful. It is in each one of us. And as I speak these words, I know life is good. Life is a miracle. Life is a gift that each one of us have been given to create and express the possibilities of who each one of us has within us, so that we are shining our light ever so brightly, never, ever shying away from it, stepping into it, embodying it, being it, living it. And from that place, I know life becomes this magical gift. And so, with grace and gratitude for the shining light, the oneness of that we all are, for this presence of the absolute, the divine, that is omniscience, omnipotence, omnipresence, that is right here, right now, and surrounds this beautiful community that is within each one of us in this community. I say thank you. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for this life. For life is good. I declare my word as done as I release it into the eternal one. I let it go and I let life flow. And together we say, and so it is.
Sing this again.
All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. Life is good, and so it is.
Take a breath. Life is good, and you are good in it, and so it is. Thank you, Helen. So this song today, our featured song of the day, today's the first day I've ever heard this.
We haven't done it.
Yeah, so I'm glad that Pierre is bringing music that I've not heard. I mean, not that I have any problem with the songs that I have heard. Just to be clear, because I love the music we do, every single bit of it. But I also like when I hear new things. This is a song that was written by Pierre and another little bit of brilliance. So please welcome Pierre Gautreau and the band.
The way the light comes through the blinds, the way the warm sunlight shines, when I turn my head to the right, seeing you there makes everything alright. It's your morning sleepy-eyed smile, hello. It's that first cup of joe. It's your kiss before I go that makes me really know. That makes me really know. It's the little things. It's the little things. It's the little things. It's the little things. Life is not measured by the breaths that you take. It's the moments that take your breath away. And the little things, little things, the little things, the little things. A furry friend, a starry night, some quiet time by some candlelight, sitting by the waterfall, lilacs in spring, sitting by the fire are some of my little things that makes me really know it, that makes me really know. Oh, it's the little things, it's the little things, it's the little things, it's the little things. Come on, Steve. Taking in a view, trying something new, cleaning up the earth, oh, laughing till it hurts, chilling with my friends, shooting with my lens, a dark chocolate bar, and rocking my guitar, the birth of a song, everybody sing along. Oh, life is not measured by the breaths you take. It's the moments that take your breath away. The little things, oh, the little things. Life is not measured by the breaths that you take. It's the moments that take your breath away. And the little things, oh, the little things. Life is not measured by the breaths you take. It's the moments that take your breath away. Takes it away, away. I do like the big things.
Little things.
But it's the little things. It's the little things. Oh, it's the little things. It's the little things.
Life is not measured by the breaths you take, but by the things that take your breath away. That is a brilliant lyric. That is a brilliant lyric. Thank you for sharing that song today, Pierre. Whew. And now it occurs to me why, when I was in the shower getting ready this morning, I had the song from Company going through my head. It's the little things you do together, do together, that make perfect relationships. Which is, you know, it's because I hadn't heard this song before I came to rehearsal today, and I saw the little things and knew that was the name of the song, and yeah, I still couldn't get it out of my head, the Broadway musical thing, because that's me, Broadway musical. Not so much as James Mellon, but I still have my moments. I take this moment to clarify where I'm being led in this moment. The recognition that there is always something that is well, you know, it's funny because it sounds almost like channeling when I say it's speaking through me. And I don't, I mean, do I believe in channeling? Yes, I believe channeling is a thing, but I don't believe we're channeling an entity outside of the self. I think we're channeling, when we channel, if people are channeling, you're channeling the truth. You're channeling the divinity that is embodying itself in some way by means of you. And so I step into this moment knowing that there is something deeper to be known and something that is to be expressed by means of me in this moment. And that's all I'm ever working. I'm not even working to do it. It's all I'm ever trying to stop working at doing, to be honest. To step out of the way of the divine to come through me right here and right now, with the recognition that the divine is coming through each and every one of you right here and right now because you are all present in this experience with me. And divinity is profoundly expressing by means of each and every one of us right here, right now. And it is the logical outcome of a creative source. The logical outcome of a creative source is that the source must create. And so it is constantly creating. It is eternally creating. It is infinitely creating by means of each and every one of us. That's logic. If the source creates, it must create by means of us if we are source. And this is the teaching. This is the teaching. There is only God. God is who and what we are. And there is a law of cause and effect that is constantly playing itself out in this world of experience and beyond. Because I can't claim that this is the only experience of God. Because if God is infinite, there is something beyond this limited idea that we are experiencing in this plane of action right here and right now. To me, that's logical. I do not know the extent to which God expresses, because if God is infinite, and God is infinite, can I really wrap my mind around infinity? If any of you can wrap your mind around infinity, please let me know, and I will invite you to come up here and give the talk. I move in that direction in every moment of my experience. And I have chosen to live my life moving closer and closer to the enlightened idea and the enlightened understanding of infinity as being something that I am part of. And yet at the same time, sometimes I still feel separate from it. Sometimes I feel separate from it. And I'm starting to understand there's nothing wrong with that. And here's why. Because the times I feel separate from it, it's an erroneous idea in mind that I'm ever separate from anything. If I feel separate from it, I don't have to attach myself to it. All I have to do is remind myself of who I am. Remind myself in this moment that I am the divine presence, manifest in form right here and right now. Uniquely individualized spirit is what I am. And it's what each and every one of you are. And this is the only thing that you need to remind yourself of in any of those instances where you start to feel separate. Because the truth is, you can never, ever, ever, ever be separate from the divine. Ever. And there's a logical reason why that is the case. If God is infinite, can anything ever be separate from the infinite? No, because then God could not be infinite. Get it? If there's something other than God, then God is not infinite. You can never, ever, 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 ever be separate from God. We trick ourselves into thinking that we're separate from God. And so the logical progression of thought then, when you think that you're separate, is to get your mind back on track to say, I am not separate from God. And there's the first thing. Notice what I've just done. I've done a denial. I am not separate from God. I am the perfect presence, poise, peace, power, beauty, love, and joy of the divine manifest in form right here and right now. There is my affirmation. It all comes down to logic. This is a logical philosophy. Ernest Holmes, the founder of this philosophy, was very specific about engaging in logic. Logic, reasoning. It is a reasoned philosophy. We use reasoning to come to deeper understandings of our experience and of ourself within this experience of life. So you know me, I love words and I love word origins. And I looked up logic, and it comes from the Greek logos. Logos. Which is related, now it's funny, so I'm having this moment again. Remember last week I said I'm not apologizing anymore. So I'm not apologizing for this moment that I'm having, but it's funny because it still catches me in the moment. I'm going to talk about Jesus just a little bit. Logos in the Christian philosophy relates to this concept. The divine word, that is the word of God, or reason incarnate, that was personified in Jesus Christ. That's what logos means. Now, I can take that and understand it from the metaphysical, which is what we teach, the metaphysical understanding. It is the divine word, or the reason incarnate in Christ consciousness. It is the word of the divine being spoken by means of each and every one of us, not just in Jesus the man. For Jesus the man was here to teach that we are all the sonship of the divine, which is what I've been talking about this morning. We are all part of that greater experience of God because we cannot be separate from God. Get it? Logic. It's logic. Now, logos actually predates Jesus. The idea, the word logos. Aristotle. Let's talk about Aristotle. Yes, let's talk about Aristotle. Aristotle understood logos as this, an argument based in reason. See how it's all tying together? That logos is an argument based in reason. When we start to reason with the divine and understand the divine from a very specific reasoned standpoint that makes sense, then you cannot help but understand that you are one with the divine, which is separate from ethos, which is an argument based in morals. It's a moral argument. separate from ethos, and is separate from pathos, which is an emotional appeal. That is an emotional argument that you are making. No, we stand firmly in the understanding of logos. We are reasoned people. Right, Helen? Sometimes. Do you approach the issues that come up in your experience with a reasoned mind, or do you allow the moral argument or the emotional argument to take over and divert your perfect healing of that situation? Because the only place that I believe, this is me, the only place that I believe perfect healing can occur is when you reason your argument from the divine. Now, are emotions important? Yes, because they give you a sense of the feeling that is behind the expression of the emotion so that you can come to a reasoned argument. See, but emotions need to lead you to the reasoned argument. The same thing with morals. Morals are something we've decided upon in the world of form. A moral argument can be totally knocked down by somebody who has a separate set of morals. But if you're truly reasoning, then you cannot help but come to the capital T truth. And there's only one capital T truth which any of us ever need to experience or express. The one capital T truth that there is God is all there is. That's it. When you truly, truly align yourself with that understanding that God is all there is, everything unfolds perfectly. Everything unfolds perfectly. We are a metaphysical teaching. Aristotle also coined the term metaphysics, which means beyond the physical. Beyond the physical. It is the sense that we all have that there is something beyond the self. And to my knowledge, on this plane of action on the earth, am I really about to say this? Yes, I am. Do I really believe this? Well, I'm going to say it. See, I'm having a moment up here in front of all of you. To my knowledge, the human being is the only creature, the only living creature, because I believe that all things are living, right? The wall is alive. At the very base understanding of the wall is God and God is life. The wall is alive. But as human beings, we are the only creatures that I believe are aware of something beyond the self. Now, one of the things that people have said is that what makes human beings separate from the rest of the animal kingdom is that we have self-awareness. And I think it's beyond, because I have to believe that it's beyond, because I have 3 cats. I watch my cats. I am very convinced that they are self-aware. I really am. Just watch your pets. Your pets are self-aware. They know that they exist. But what I believe sets human beings apart is that we are not only self-aware, we are aware of something beyond the self. That's what I believe sets us apart. So, here I am. I've probably confused you all in what I've been talking about. I'm like, so there's logos and logic and this and that, and God is all there is, and human beings are aware of something beyond. I've been throwing out a lot of information at you. Been throwing out a lot of philosophy at you. Things, and here's the other thing. These are things that I can put into words that have been espoused by Aristotle and by great thinkers of the generations. Are they true? Well, if I really want to take issue with the concept that we are limited ideas having form in this experience, then I think that they are true, but there is something beyond their truth as well. I'm confusing the heck out of all of you, and I'm doing it on purpose.
Thank you.
I wanted to acknowledge the fact that, are you confused?
No.
Not really? Okay. I mean, I do usually try and build logical arguments around what it is I have to present on any given Sunday. I'll tell you what, you come to class on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, boy, the discussions get deep. And boy, I think sometimes I confuse myself. But I bring it all back around. Because here's where I'm getting to. Each of us have decided that this is the spiritual philosophy that works for us. That we have a history based in Aristotle. We have a history that was actually modified by Christians to have this understanding that the divine word spoken through us is Christ consciousness expressing by means of us, and that there is no separation between God and man. This is what we have basically come to in this philosophy, and none of it means anything except in this way. In what way are you living it in your life? Because all of life is context. You can have the intellectual understanding of all of this. And I've studied for years and years and years to have an intellectual understanding of all of it. But at what point do you begin to embody the intellectual understanding? Because none of this means anything if it's just an idea. The experience of the life on this physical plane of action, the experience of life is all context. It's all about relationship. How do I relate to my understanding that I am the divine? How do you relate to your understanding that you are the divine? And I think we need to pull it back and stop relating as the divine and start being the divine. I relate to Helen based on a context of ideas that we have decided upon between the two of us, spoken and unspoken, conscious and subconscious, about what our relationship is. But our relationship is context. My understanding of my relationship with Helen is all in context of decisions that I've made. If I really look at Helen, if I take the time to look at Helen. Hi, Helen. I really understand who and what Helen is. I can actually eliminate the context that I've decided exists between us. Because all I can see when I look at Helen with the eyes of truth is that there's God. And my experience of Helen becomes more profound. Do you want to live a profound life? Start to recognize every person you encounter as God. Eliminate the context. Eliminate the decisions you have made. Eliminate the judgments that you have made about people that are in your life, and start to recognize them only as God. Because ultimately, the opinions, the judgments, the context, it doesn't matter. When you really, really understand and recognize the divinity in every face you see, your life begins to blossom in extraordinary ways. Now, this is also a setup for me to admit in front of every single one of you that I have had my context shifted in these last 2 weeks. And the context that I have had shifted is in relationship to denials. Because I was very, very specifically taught, and Ernest Holmes specifically teaches in the Science of Mind book, that we deny. Hold on, now I'm confusing myself. that we don't step into denial, that we don't deny anything. He says in The Science of Mind, turn entirely away from the condition in treatment. So when you're in treatment, when you're looking to change your experience, you're not denying the condition. You're not bringing the condition into the treatment experience and denying it. You are stepping into only the affirmation. Because according to Ernest Holmes, that is the more enlightened method, and that's the more enlightened path. And then, darn that Emma Curtis Hopkins, she has messed up my mind a little bit. I mean, really. Really, she has. Now, Emma Curtis Hopkins, the teacher of teachers, Ernest Holmes studied with Emma Curtis Hopkins, and I see it. I see the relationship, and I see the context between those two metaphysicians now. I really understand the context between those two metaphysicians, and I can see the relationship of Emma Curtis Hopkins in the Science of Mind book. I've started to make those connections, and I see the thread happening. And then she writes this one thing in what we've been reading that just blew my mind. Because she has an entire section called Denials of Science. And she's not saying that science is to be denied. She's saying denials within the context of metaphysics is what she's really talking about. Denials of science. And she talks about 5 denials. 5 specific denials that we should all be engaged in on a regular basis. I'm kind of, thank you. This is really pleasant for people who are watching online because, here, I'll turn it off. Okay, thank you. Oh, goodness me. Thank you, Fran. There are 5 specific denials that Emma Curtis Hopkins talks about, and we've been studying them. And then she turns it around and talks about 5 specific affirmations that are in relationship to those denials. Today I'm only talking about the denials. And she writes this: try the denials of metaphysical reasoning and see if you do not feel a new freedom. This is what she writes. I'm like, really? We're going to get into denials? I don't do denials. That's not the way I was trained. That's not the kind of ministry I have. And I have to step back and say, wait a second. There is something which wants to be known here. Because this would not be brought to me. I would not be reading this if there was not some reason for me to read this in this moment. Here are the 5 denials purported by Emma Curtis Hopkins that we should all take into our daily practice. 1, there is no evil. Now, what I want you to check in with right here and right now is, where did your mind go when I said there is no evil? It went to that place of saying, no. Here's what I've come to understand. Your mind did not go to evil. Your mind went to look for proof that there is evil. There's a vast difference. Your mind did not automatically go to evil. It went to look for the proof that what I have just stated is wrong. And it's our minds that do these little tricky things with us sometimes, because that's the way we've been contextualized in our society. So that's the first one. There is no evil. Now, the second denial, there is no matter. Has your mind gone to now the place of, but I can see you? The lectern feels very solid. It feels very much like matter. We have decided that this is matter. Or can you really get in line with the idea? There is no matter. And and Emma Curtis Hopkins was way before her time, because if you go to the quantum understanding, if you go to quantum physics now, the proof is there is no matter. Quantum physics is proving this. Because nothing exists except as the potential to exist. Nothing exists. There is no matter. Oh, have I just blown your mind? And how about this aspect of quantum physics? Nothing exists until we observe it. The only reason I'm standing here before you is because you're observing me. Ooh, that's deep. But your mind, when I say there is no matter, your mind automatically probably wants to go and prove, yes, there is. There is matter. Because I can see it and I'm experiencing it. But it's not true. If you truly understand that your mind, that universal mind is all there is, what we experience is simply a byproduct of mind, then we can even step into, if it's a byproduct of mind, it cannot exist without it first existing in mind, which is what we teach. There's a thing called the mental equivalent. Nothing exists that we can see, touch, taste, feel in the world of form without it first existing in mind. Mind precedes any experience, any circumstance. So if you really understand that, there is no matter. Because mind has created it all of itself. Here's the third denial. There is no absence of life, substance, or intelligence. There is no absence of life, substance, or intelligence, which takes me to my wall. I hinted at it earlier. So for those of you who are maybe here for the first time and don't see my little God face, because I refer to my wall all the time as God, and so I've had some lovely people up here put a face up here to remind me that it is God. Not that I needed reminding, but it helps. I observe the wall. I see the wall. I recognize that the wall exists because the wall exists first in my own mind. But if the wall is born of matter, if the wall is born of mind, and I observe it as matter, matter being only mind, the universal mind is life itself. Therefore, the wall is life. There is no absence of life in the wall. The wall is life. There is no absence of substance. When I observe it, I can feel it. There is no absence of substance. And on some level, the wall demonstrates a level of intelligence. Now, if we talk about the concepts of Thomas Troward, he would suggest that this was most likely the lowest form of intelligence. And we describe intelligence as self-awareness. Is the wall aware of its own experience and own existence? Probably not. Not that I'm aware of. But the wall has a level of intelligence. So, I look at Helen. I recognize that Helen is God. But if I recognize that Helen is God, when I look at the wall, I have to understand that the wall is God as well. Because if I believe that the wall is separate from God, all of a sudden, see, there's the logic, God is no longer infinite. The fourth denial of Emma Curtis Hopkins is this. There is no hate. How many of you have gone to look for the proof that there is hate? We experience the effects of people who purport to hate. Yes, we experience those things, but at the core of all of experience, the core of all of expression is one thing, the desire to express life. As people engage in hateful activities, they're doing it, and this is going to be hard to hear, but they are doing it with the idea of expressing life. It's like people who engage. You see my mind working here. It's the same as people who engage in self-destructive behaviors. Now, I was never a drug user, But I imagine that drug users are engaging in drug use because it, in that moment, makes them feel alive in some way. The purpose of all creation is to express life. The purpose of all, at the root of all habit, is one idea: life expressed. At the root of all hateful activity is one idea: expressing life. It's misguided in the way it shows up in our form. And there are certainly more constructive ways to express life, and this is what we're all learning. How many of you, now this is a rhetorical question, I don't want to see any hands, but how many of you have ever engaged even the slightest little mote in a hateful activity? Just check in with yourself. Because I can tell you that in my 40 years in this experience, I may have once or twice engaged in something that was hateful. And I also guarantee you, I've had things that I've experienced that have been hateful directed towards me. And what do we do in these moments? We all have the responsibility to rise above it in those moments. To recognize that the given circumstances, the circumstances of our experience, are not the truth. They're simply the facts that we're living. In those moments, it is up to us in mind to rise above and create a new set of circumstances. But it all starts in mind. And you can start that process by understanding that denial. There is no hate. There can't be hate because God is love. There is only love. That's it. Hate is the misuse of the power of love for destructive purposes. And then 5, which really resonated with me this week, the 5th denial. There is no sin, sickness, or death. There is no sin, sickness, or death. Can you guess which part of it was really resonating with me this week? At the core of all expression, at the core of each and every one of us, there is that which has never been touched by any experience in this plane of action. My experience of the flu does not prove that flu exists. It's just an experience. At the core of my beingness, the divine has never been touched by the flu. It's when I come into alignment with that the healthful expression of my body flows forth. And it is doing so right here, right now. I'm about 1 million times better than I was yesterday, huh, Helen? Yeah. Because I made a decision to not step into the concept or the idea that there's anything other than God. Because if I believe in sickness, I believe there's something other than God. Because God cannot express as sin, sickness. What was the other one? Death. I will refer you to previous talks to understand why there is no death. I don't want to talk about that today. Except to say this. If God is infinite life, there is no death. And if we are God, we never die. Our experience here on this plane of action is temporary, yes. But we don't actually die when we are done. on this plane of experience. Because God is infinite, and it's who and what we are. Forever living, forever experiencing, forever evolving. So in the absolute, the answer is no. None of those things exist. That's why we can deny them. In the relative, we do experience aspects of these things. To begin to eliminate these things from our experience, here's what we must do. We have to deny that these things have power. Because all that we've done when we look at death and think it is a thing is we have decided that death has power. When we have decided that sickness has power, we experience sickness. We have made decisions, and we are contextualized, we are brought up to believe these things have power. And that's why they continue to express in form. Imagine all 7+ billion people in the world having an epiphany right in this moment where they realize that none of that is true. The only truth is that we are all divine. Do you think that's going to happen? I'm glad I heard, yes. I'm glad I heard that. When do you think it's going to happen? Now. It must happen now. Do you know how it happens now? We, each and every one of us individually, must step into this conscious way of living. When we step into the consciousness of everlasting life and understand that everyone we encounter is everlasting life, and step away from the context, step away from the judgment, step away from the opinion, we each contribute to the change in this world that we all seek. It's funny, I've gotten off track. I'm looking at my notes now thinking, yeah, that doesn't really matter anymore. What I planned on saying. I guess here's what I'm going for. Here's what it all boils down to, because I'm totally off track. Now I've caught myself. It's funny how I have these moments where I've now caught myself going, wow, I'm so in a different place, and that's okay. Ultimately, today is about recognizing your place, where you do fit in. How do you observe the world? How do you see the world? And what is it that you are going to do right here and right now to take responsibility to be that change? What can you do? Yes, you show up here on a Sunday. It feels so lovely. You maybe get inspired a little bit. I don't know. Music makes you feel good. The end, we get up and we dance. But when you leave here, what do you leave here with? And who do you leave here as? Do you take into the world a deeper understanding of who you are? And do you reaffirm this in every single moment of your experience, every single day? I think far too frequently, far too many of us come here, we feel good, and then we walk out the door and we allow the effects of the world to roll over us, and we decide that those effects are more important than the truth. So when you get out, when you leave here today, and it's a beautiful day, it's going to feel easy to go out and feel good today, right? You're going to get behind your car, and because it's a beautiful day, there might be a lot of traffic. What will you decide in that moment is your relationship to the traffic. Are you going to decide to let the traffic bring you down? Or are you going to decide to rise above it? It's up to you. It is up to you to determine the course of your life and the course of your experience. Nothing created by God is wrong or false. Nothing. Not a darn thing created by God is wrong or false. It is simply the effect of cause. But we are each cause to our own effect, because we are each of us the divine embodied. When we step into denial, and today I step into accepting that I can go to that place of denial, I am giving up on the idea that the world of circumstance has any power over me. I can deny the experiences in the world of circumstance with a deeper knowing and understanding that they cannot possibly exist because I no longer accept them. We're the ones who determine the course and breadth of our experience. So today, I invite you to step into that place of total deniability. Denying the power of circumstance and stepping into the power of the absolute, which is who and what you are. Stepping into the power of love, the power of life, the power of beauty demonstrated by each and every one of us, the power of wisdom flowing through each and every one of us, the power of joy, do you feel the shift? Allow yourself to feel the power of joy. There is nothing that you need to do except accept the power. It is inherent within you. When you decide to live joy, you live joy. Take the time each and every single day. Take the time whenever you find that you need the time. Take the time to step into the deeper understanding of who and what you are. I'm popping a lot now, huh? Because the truth is, you're worth it. You are worth the exquisite life that you were meant to live. So stop denying that life of yourself and start affirming that that's who and what you are. Deny anything that does not support that idea and affirm only the things that support the understanding that you are love, light, life, peace, power, beauty, joy, harmony, and wisdom incarnate right here and right now. Namaste. Ooh, got a little electric energy going on there.
Wow.
Oh, you know what? My battery's gone out. I'm taking this away from you now, please. The battery is gone. It happens. Too much electric energy. So we're stepping into this place of divine givingness, and as you give what you have to give today, I encourage you to understand that the act of giving is actually spiritual practice. And the truth is here, so I'm going to tell you a truth in the world of facts. The truth is, this center does require your money. I'm just going to put it out there. This center requires your money. We do not exist except for what you have to offer. 80% of what we take in is given in offerings, and that's our operating budget. So I want to, first of all, say thank you for allowing us to exist, and thank you for your continued support of our existence, and say thank you for what it is you offer today, because that's really what I'm mostly interested in, is knowing that as we give, as you give, you receive something back. And so I trust that whatever I'm giving back to you is worth it. That's a joke. You can laugh. I know it was a very serious talk, but we can now laugh. So let's step into a place of laughter. That's really pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, but let's affirm the concept of givingness by reading the divine givingness on the back of our songbooks together. As you hold what it is you're offering to the center, recognizing that it is God in action by means of you right here and right now. Let's read this together. I know that God is the source of all supply, and that money is God in action. I know that my good is here now. I claim an abundance of money to spare and share. I know that true prosperity includes perfect health, perfect wealth, and perfect happiness. I bless all that I have now, and I bless the increase. I give thanks for this good. I know that my gift today goes forward to heal and bless. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center and know that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And we're going to sing Infinite Love, which is on page 32.
Infinite love flow through me. Infinite love flow through me. Infinite love flow through me. Help me to be all I can be. Infinite joy flow through me. Infinite joy flow through me. Infinite joy flow through me. Help me to be all I can be. Infinite peace flow through me. Infinite peace flow through me. Infinite peace flow through me. Help me to be all I can be. Infinite love flow through me. Infinite love flow through me. Infinite love flow through me. Helps me to be all I can be. All right, I'm going to invite Helen Velo up to do a blessing over our offering.
Joining together in affirming and knowing that the power and presence of the divine, of God, is everywhere present. It is the source and substance of our abundance that we receive here today. In this moment, I give thanks for this giving, this receiving, knowing that the board also is grateful and thankful, and that as the board, we use this money consciously and constructively to support our community, our center. And I say thank you to each and every person in this center and online who gives and supports this community. Thank you for this abundance. Thank you for this gift. Thank you to the divine that flows through each one of us. I release these words to the law, knowing all is done. All flows forth with ease, with joy, with grace, and with love. I let it go, I let it be so, and together we say,
So it is.
Thank you, Helen. So I want to say thank you to everybody who has made today's experience possible. I want to thank Carmen for setting up. Carmen, you set up and you made that beautiful, beautiful pot of coffee, and it was so delicious.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yes, thank you very much. I want to thank Jim and Tony, who are our greeters today. In the bookstore today, we have Nick, who's helping out, our practitioner of the day, Helen Velo, for her beautiful, beautiful meditation and treatment work today. Thank you. Our board members, Susan and Fred, thank you for your service today. I want to thank Carrie in the sound booth and Hai Lu, who's on our webcast today, ensuring that we get out to the entire world. I want to thank Heather and Chris, who are downstairs with those dynamic kids. I want to thank Pierre Gautreau and the entire band. And the entire band who's also not at the drums, but that's okay. Hello. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your willingness to be here today, your willingness to hear something new, or maybe hearing something in a different way today, because this is how we learn and this is how we grow, by opening ourselves up to something new and exciting and different. And this is what I choose to do every single Sunday. I'm here to learn. That's what I'm here to do. So thank you for being here today. To close out in our moment of benediction, I love this song. Oh, I need to stretch. Oh, because we have no keyboards.
Yes.
Here he comes. Hello, Patrick.
Yay! Patrick Day, everybody.
All right. So now that Patrick is back, now he can play the keyboards. So as we step into this final moment of reflection, right in this moment, I'm actually overcome with some interesting emotion. I don't know what it's related to, but this song has deep, resonant meaning for me, because this is a song that I have basically, really, I've grown up with. I grew up spiritually with this song. And I often go to it as a reminder that I'm the one in charge, that I'm the one in control at any given moment. And so I encourage you to step into that place of recognizing that you can find the self, the true self, the capital S self, in the silence. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. I find God, I find myself. I find myself when I recognize myself as God. I find myself when I recognize everyone I encounter as God. The deep, resonant understanding that there is no separation between God and the human being. The human is being God in every moment, in every activity. This is what I stand for right here and right now in this moment. A deeper recognition and embodiment of this idea. And I carry this forth with me into every aspect of my life, and I encourage and know that every single person here does so in their own unique, individualized way. Expressing as God is what each and every one of us are doing, no matter what. And so I claim more abundance in this expression. I claim more brilliance in this expression. I claim a deeper resonant knowing of this experience as God for each and every one of us. I know that this is the truth, and I simply allow this truth to unfold easily and effortlessly by means of me and by means of each and every person who is touched by this service. And I do so with a grateful heart, knowing that my word spoken is done. It is a done deal right here and right now. And so I let it be. I know it is so. I let it go. I release it. I allow. And together we say, and so it is. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. As my heart opens up to the voice, I awake to these precious moments when I hear all that could ever be said. And right here in this holy silence, I find God. Oh, I find God. I find myself. And so it is. And so, finally, let's celebrate this and take it out to the street with I Can See Clearly Now, which is on page 5.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Yes? Someone can confirm that? Yes?
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright,
shine.